You know that feeling, right? It just starts with a little tickle in your nose, then the first sneeze hits, and suddenly your eyes are watering, your head's all foggy, you're just in a full-blown misery fest. It honestly feels like a betrayal. Your own immune system has declared war on something as totally harmless as pollen. So today, we're diving into the mysterious world of allergies. And look, this is not just some minor annoyance we're talking about. According to Dr. Sandra Y. Lin, this is a massive public health issue. It costs billions, that's billions with a B, of dollars and affects a huge chunk of the population every single year. This isn't just your personal battle, it's a nationwide thing. Just let that sink in for a second. 1 in every 6 people. I mean, look around the next time you're on the bus or in a meeting. Statistically, a bunch of those people are fighting the exact same invisible war you might be. This is not some niche problem. It's one of the most common chronic conditions out there. So the official fancy name for this is allergic rhinitis, but most of us just know it by its super misleading nickname, hay fever. Come on, there's no fever, and it's almost never hay. It's just your body's inflammatory response to something in the air. Oh, and here's a really crucial point. Unlike a cold, you can't give it to anyone else. It's all you. All right, so how are we gonna crack this case? Well, first, we're gonna investigate your body's really strange war against itself. Then we'll identify the enemy and figure out how to tell it apart from the common cold. We'll cover how to manage the symptoms, and then the big one will reveal a breakthrough that can actually retrain your immune system for good. Let's start with the absolute central mystery of it all. Why does your body's own defense system turn on you? This is the immune system's great betrayal. So, at its very core, an allergy is just a case of mistaken identity. Your immune system, which is crazy powerful, is acting like a super overzealous security guard. It sees a totally harmless little particle, like a grain of pollen or some pet dander, and it freaks out, flagging it as a dangerous invader. And then it launches this full-scale attack against a threat that isn't even real. And the main weapon in this totally misguided war? It's a chemical called histamine. When your immune system sounds that false alarm, it just floods your body with histamine. And that is what causes all the chaos. The swelling in your nose, the itchy eyes, the runny nose. Histamine is pretty much the molecule behind all your misery. Okay, so if the immune system is the soldier, who are these enemies it's mistakenly going after? Let's profile the usual suspects. Now, what's really wild is that these triggers are everywhere. Outside, you've got the classic villains, pollen from trees, grass and weeds, plus things like mold spores. But the fight doesn't stop there. It continues right inside your home, with microscopic dust mites living in your bed, dander from your pets, and yeah, even cockroaches. Your own house can be a battleground. And this all leads to 2 different patterns of attack. You've got seasonal allergies, which are pretty predictable. They show up when certain plants are pollinating, like in the spring or fall. But then there are perennial allergies, and those are just a relentless year-round siege caused by indoor stuff like dust mites that are always there. There's just no ceasefire. And this brings us to something that confuses a lot of people. You're sneezing, you're congested. So is it allergies, or did you catch a cold? Let's unmask the imposter. This chart right here is brilliant. It breaks down the key differences. Okay, so clue number 1, the itch factor. Itchy, watery eyes are the absolute hallmark of an allergy. A cold, on the other hand, is way more likely to bring friends like a fever and body aches to the party. And also, look at the timing. Allergies hit you immediately. A cold kind of sneaks up on you over a few days. And maybe the biggest tell, a cold goes away. Allergies, they're going to stick around as long as that trigger does. So checking your symptoms is a pretty good start, but it's still just an educated guess, right? If you really want to pinpoint the specific culprits behind your misery, how do you get a definitive answer? Well, allergists use a surprisingly simple and really effective method, the skin prick test. Now, it sounds way more intimidating than it is. It's not painful. They just put these tiny drops of different allergens on your skin and make a tiny little scratch. Then, after about 15 minutes, if you're allergic, you'll get this small raised bump that looks kind of like a mosquito bite. That little bump is the smoking gun. It confirms exactly what your immune system is fighting. So once you've identified the enemy, the next step is managing the battlefield. This is your first line of defense against those daily allergy symptoms. The strategy here is basically twofold. First, avoidance. You can try to reduce your exposure by using things like HEPA filters. They trap all those tiny allergens. Or keeping your windows closed when pollen counts are high. And washing your bedding in hot water. Second, you've got medications. Over-the-counter stuff like antihistamines, they block that chaos-causing chemical we talked about, while decongestants and nasal sprays help bring down the inflammation. Right, but here's the crucial point. While all these strategies give you some much-needed relief, they're really just managing the crisis. It's like putting up sandbags during a flood. Sure, it helps, but it doesn't stop the rain. These treatments just mask the symptoms. They don't fix the root cause of the problem, that faulty programming in your immune system. But what if you could do more than just manage the flood? What if you could stop the storm entirely? This is where we go from playing defense to playing offense. We're moving from just managing the problem to potentially solving it. This is the breakthrough. I mean, what if instead of just blocking histamine or hiding from pollen, you could fundamentally change the way your immune system reacts? What if you could actually teach that overzealous security guard to just chill out? Well, this is exactly what allergen immunotherapy does. It is the only treatment out there that actually modifies the disease itself by exposing your body to gradually increasing, super controlled doses of your specific allergen. It slowly teaches your immune system that, hey, this thing isn't a threat. It's basically a peace treaty for your body. Now, this training comes in two main forms. The traditional method is subcutaneous immunotherapy, or SCIT, what we all know as allergy shots. You get those in a doctor's office. But there's a more convenient option for some allergens called sublingual immunotherapy, or SLIT, and that involves drops or tablets that you just dissolve under your tongue at home. And this is a great visual of that classic approach. With allergy shots, you get a series of injections over time. Each one has a slightly higher dose of the allergen, which systematically builds up your immune system's tolerance without totally overwhelming it. You're basically reprogramming its response, one dose at a time. Now, this is definitely a commitment, not a quick fix. The journey starts with a build-up phase for the first few months, where the dose is slowly increased. That's followed by a maintenance phase that can last for 3 to 5 years, really locking in that new tolerance. But the payoff? The payoff is huge. The benefits can last for years and years, even after you stop the treatment. So, how well does it actually work? Get this, a remarkable 70 to 85% of patients who complete the treatment experience significant lasting relief. For millions, this isn't just about fewer sneezes, it's about reclaiming their quality of life. The question is no longer just how we fight allergies, but how we can actually teach our bodies to stop fighting themselves. And you have to wonder, what could this mean for the future of treating other autoimmune diseases?